Hello, this is Tormod from Southwest Norway, and schizophrenic suffering. Schizophrenic suffering is voice in the head, alarming voice in the head. Voice in the head are like very, very, very loud and disturbing and abusive thoughts. I'll repeat that. Voice in the head are very loud, alarming, confusing, and abusive thoughts. They're like thoughts that I just turn up the volume and abusiveness to, that is what it's like to have voice in the head when you're schizophrenic. But schizophrenia is more than just voice in the head. Even though voice in the head can be a true hell to go through, along with voice in the head, there's usually lots of conflict, inner conflict, basically. I think that's the essence of it. Because when schizophrenics experience a new personality, then the personality that appears as a new personality carries with it a whole new mind system, a whole new mind unit. While for people who don't have schizophrenia, can experience new personalities and just like float through them because they're simple personalities. While people with schizophrenia will experience new personalities that bring with them a whole new mind system, a whole new reality that one has to relate to, obviously, because it's a new mind system, and mind system has been the reality for humankind, Mind system has been the reality for humanity for a very long time. And all of our systems, money system, military system, education systems, health system, school, all of these systems that we have established among us are rooted and based upon mind systems, meaning the illusion. The mind is the imaginative, is an illusion. The mind is not visible, but it has such a strong power, but it has been holding such a strong power over us, The mind is imaginary, but it has held all domain over humanity, because we have been referring to it as the divine, the God, the white light, the energy, the divine frequency, whatever. Non-reality. The mind with all its systems have been the non-reality. The deception, the lie, if you like. So that what is reality is the physical, the flesh, the blood, the organs, the bones, the skin, my temple, my home, my body, my temple, in which I can embrace my avatar, my inner power animal, if you like, the little God that is me. The bear, the flower, the tree, the child, the dragon, the bird, the human being within me, my avatar. For the time being, I'm having an avatar being a bear. And I'm having a great, great time with discovering my inner world, my inner temple as a bear. I've been having this for over a month now. I'm not sure when it's going to end or what's going to happen with it. But for now, I'm keeping with my inner bear to have his or hers, whatever gender, to have its sanctuary within me, to have the calmity and ease, playfulness, and whatever a bear represents, playfulness, something I'm exploring, lightheartedness, getting to know myself as that inner avatar, that inner bear that holds the temple, my body, and I can use my mind to imagine things, to play things out, test things out. Example, run an example loop, run an example testing ground, but the constant thinking and the feelings and emotions, polarities that keep us enslaved to the mind, I am no longer accepting that. And the constant thinking, it also means the voices in the head, like I begin with, Voices in the head are like thoughts that are just turned up the volume really, really loud and added in some more abusiveness and violent and sexual harassment thinking. And there's the voices, And we all experience voices from time to time, somehow. But with schizophrenics, it's more consistent, more persistent voices that has their own systems, basically. They're more the systems of voice in the head and conflict and inner war between personalities. You're fighting yourself, basically. And that is more the schizophrenic experience of schizophrenic suffering. So, to be able to let go of that constant thinking, the psychosis, the obsession, the possession, the feelings, emotions, up and down, negative, positive, the non-reality of mind. How can we possibly just let go of this and find ourselves here? As the bear, cozy, playful bear, for instance, The way I have done this is I would go from sleeping in the streets of Amsterdam and Copenhagen to living here in this Camp Hill village where I'm living now. And, I was sleeping in the streets. I was suffering, schizophrenic, drug addict, a lot of complex, difficult complexities in my mind, basically. Possessions, psychosis, addictions, illness. I was very, very, very sick, and I was addicted, and my life was really shit. And I was sleeping in the streets of Amsterdam, and so on. And what I did, I got some help from my parents. My parents helped me back to Norway, to a low security hospital. And I realized there at that hospital, okay, this young man can be your chance at something totally new, something totally different. This can be your Tormod, fresh start. We can do something. If you want to do something with yourself, do it now. Now is a good time for you, Tormod, to do this. Because you've hit rock bottom. Look at where you were in Amsterdam and so on. You can rise yourself up and start a process from where you're at now. I had to face rock bottom before I was able to start my process. Hopefully, you won't have to hit rock bottom, or But I had to hit rock bottom before I have to realize that profound gift of self-forgiveness. That is the one most prominent, important thing that I was to learn in my process, to forgive myself, to learn to work systematic, to learn to work systematic with self-forgiveness. Okay? For me to start to work systematic on my thoughts, on my mind systems, systematic with self-forgiveness, that was a breakthrough. While I was doing that writing and that shadow work, you might say, or self-investigation, I started to run. I would run with my uncle and some friends. We would run around the water to get the exercise, to change my occupation from up here and thinking, to down here and calm, stable sound. Okay. And I started to swim in a swimming hall. And I did sauna, lots of sauna to detox all the old junk, poison in my body. And poison from thinking. Most of the poison and toxins that we humans have comes from our thinking. Believe it or not. But that's where most of the toxins and poisons come from, our own minds. Or fears, to say one thing, or emotions, feelings and emotions. Anyhow, I started with working with self-forgiveness in a structured, systematic way. I started to run. I started to swim. I ended my addictions. I ended my addictions to cigarettes, to porn, to alcohol, to hashish, to weed. I ended all that. And I started to do things that could help me. Anything out there, and there are many things out there that can help us. For instance, going to the anonymous, Alcoholic Anonymous meetings. I will start doing that. And reading literature about about that would support me. I would start to eat more healthy. I would become much more keen aware on what am I putting into my body. And I would start to do many things on different arenas. Walking in the mountains together with my mom. And I would start doing many things. Doing the ocean bath in the cold water. I would start doing many things to support myself. To be able to crawl out of my schizophrenic mind hell. And into the sanctuary, the haven within myself, where I can have my own avatar, my own bear at the moment, which I'm very happy about. Right? I'm very thrilled about that. So this is all just to explain that we have all the answers, okay, and we have lots of possibilities to heal. And I would start back then in January 2012. I would start to take my medication in cooperation with my doctor. I would start to work on self-forgiveness, on writing out my mind. I would start to jog and swim and eat more healthy and walking in the nature with my mom and bathing in the cold ocean water. Many things, different things I would start doing to support myself because I wanted to make my life into a good life. I wanted to have a good experience of my living. And I wanted to change from that old schizophrenic suffering. Okay? And because there are ways to deal with schizophrenic suffering if you're open to it. If you're open to investigate your mind and through that be able to lay it behind, to forgive your way through this jungle, through this hell for many, to be able to forgive all that as yourself. Okay, not as a God or a Buddha or whatever forgiving, but you forgiving you, me forgiving me being my own inner bear, inner God, if you may. So that to me, schizophrenic suffering, there is a solution to schizophrenic suffering. And it's called self-forgiveness. That's the headliner. Self-forgiveness, people. I've been saying this for years, and some of you are listening, and I'm impressed by that. I'm flattered by that. But look at my example. I've gone from sleeping in the Strait of Amsterdam to where I am today. You know, what have my day been like today? I have been walking in nature. It was raining, but it was a lovely walk. Watching how the rest of the snow and ice is melting away in the forest. I had a bath in the ocean today. That was not so pleasant because there was so much rain. And when there's lots of rain and no sunshine, the water is not that clean. But I was able to fix that with hydrogen peroxide. From intake on myself. I've been feeding the chickens, tending the chickens. We have some chickens, roosters and hens. I've been tending them, and I had a really nice day, really relaxive day. And what I'm trying to say here is that if you're out there suffering from schizophrenia, having a hard time with life, I am here, and we are establishing a community where you can find help, find support. And, you know, self-forgiveness is here. We have programs where you can walk and learn to use the sentence of self-forgiveness for you. There's programs for this. If you are willing to help yourself with letting go of the programs and systems of mind and finding self, calm, centered, collected, all the good words inside self. If you're willing to start embracing self and start honoring the life that you are, I am here. I am here reaching out my hand to you if you are willing to start supporting yourself. It's like in psychiatry, you can have assistance and support and guidance, but the help, the pure will, the pure essence must come from within self. That is where this starts, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going through, schizophrenic suffering, I'm telling you there is solutions to this. You don't have to suffer. But if you choose to believe that you have to suffer, then that's your belief. It's a lie. Another lie. Anyhow, it's all in reverse. Because, like I said, all of our systems, the money system, military, political, democracy, healthcare, school, everything have been based on the imaginary mind. Okay? All of our systems have that as a fundament, and it's interwoven with it. So what we're going to see are changes, basically, and we're going to see improvement, to put it that way. Of course, the old system has to just collapse. The old system of non-reality has to collapse because it doesn't really hold anything. While the new system of oneness and equality, what is best for all life, that is what will prevail. That is what will will stand basically as the equal and one solution, so that we can have an equal money system and have all these cool things among us where we can enjoy life for real, for all to have a good life. It is possible. Let's make it a reality. We can all have a good life. It is possible for all to have a good life. In theory, let's make that happen. Let's make that happen. Let's start with the one person we truly can deal with, or learn to deal with, and learn to handle the self. So this is my prayer for you, Mr. or Mrs. Schizophrenic. There are possibilities if you're willing to support yourself. Look at my example, how far I've come. Today I'm talking at hospitals, giving my opinion, from my experience with exactly what I've been presenting here today, and I share this to people in psychiatry and hospitals and everywhere, because my experience is so new. Basically, it's a new type of living, to forgive the self, to find self in the temple, in the body, in the home. So casa, that is the body, and to let the mind system, let it be, whatever. And the thinking, to end the excessive thinking through self-forgiveness. Thinking can be so draining. Oh my God, why do we age? Why do we age? Because we think too much. So, self-forgiveness, reverse aging. Anyway, what I'm saying is that there are solutions, and today we have all the answers. If you're willing to start supporting yourself, let me know. And I know schizophrenia, so I know how that story is. It's tough. It is hell. It is worse than hell, often. But there are solutions. Self-forgiveness is the best way to heal, to work with this, is to learn to work with forgiving the self. It's a process. It is a process, not done overnight. So schizophrenia is the idea or of when one is presented with new personalities, that with schizophrenia then the personality has with it a whole new mind system. And this causes conflict and voice in the head and internal war. While other people have experienced new personalities, they can more like just flow through it. For schizophrenia, it's like a new system presents itself, and you have to deal with a whole new system like that. It's insane. It's truly insane. I understand schizophrenia. So if you recognize any of this, the personalities, the reaction, the war system, the voices, the hallucinations, I'm here saying that self-forgiveness works, physical activity works, yoga works, swimming in ocean works. There are many things that works. Question is, how far do you want to heal? How much do you want to heal? If you really want to work on self-forgiveness is the best way. And I can guide you on this and help you to understand this if you're willing to support yourself. Thank you very much. Enjoy breath.